I woke up choking on the taste of duct tape, my hands zip-tied to a chair, my ankles bound. 3 masked men stood in my bedroom, calm as surgeons, dressed in black. One of them leaned close, his voice low and professional. "Your wife paid 500,000 to make you disappear." He straightened, tilting his head toward the door. "The twins are coming with you. To hell." Then she walked in, Laura, barefoot, laughing softly, like she'd just heard a joke whispered in a church. "Finally free," she said. "You're dead. The kids will be gone. I get everything." I didn't move, didn't blink. 16 years in the military had taught me that silence was a weapon sharper than any knife. They didn't know about the tracker tooth. I bit down, hard. A pulse of metal between my molars. 2 beacons activated, one on me, one in the twins' room. Outside, the sound came 5 minutes later, the distant rotors, growing louder. She turned toward the window, her face flickering with confusion, then fear, and I just watched. Still bound, still calm, because I already knew. This wasn't betrayal, it was revelation. They said in war, betrayal is currency. You spend it to survive. But this was personal. As the team stormed in, weapons drawn, she screamed my name, pretending to be the victim. I let them drag her away, handcuffed and hollow-eyed. Later, in the ambulance, the medic asked if I wanted to see her. I said no. But the question lingered like a bad echo. Why her? The answer came days later, in fragments. A frozen account, a phone recovered from the trash, a message thread she thought was deleted. "He'll be out of the way soon. Kids too? They'll never know what hit them." Her voice recorded, calm, cold. The man she was speaking to wasn't one of the killers. He was her lover, my supposed friend, my business partner. It hit like a quiet explosion. Not rage, clarity. Everything made sense now. The missing money, the late nights, the strange tension she disguised as exhaustion. Every touch had been rehearsal, every word calculation. I sat there, in the dark of the safe house, the hum of the fridge louder than my own breathing, and thought, "You almost succeeded, Laura. Almost." I played along. Let the Bureau question me, let the media run their story. Betrayed war hero survives murder plot. But I wasn't interested in survival. I wanted truth. So I built my own operation, quiet, surgical. The twins were safe with my sister overseas. I told everyone I was recovering. In reality, I was digging. Her accounts, offshore transfers, calls to encrypted numbers. A pattern emerged. She'd been preparing this for months, buying silence, paying loyalty. She'd underestimated what silence could cost. One night, I hacked into her lawyer's drive, found her signed confession, conditional, timed for her payout after my death. The timestamp was the same night we celebrated our 10th anniversary. The dinner where she cried, told me she missed the man I used to be. I remember holding her hand across the table, her fingers trembling. I thought it was guilt. Now I know it was calculation. Every memory rewrote itself in my mind. Every smile became a strategy. And I kept going, documenting everything. Because revenge isn't rage, it's record-keeping. The Bureau dropped charges after a deal. She'd cooperate, turn in her lover. They called it closure. But I wasn't done. I requested to meet her one last time. For the twins, I said. They allowed it. The room was small, white walls, 1 table, 2 chairs. She looked thinner, fragile, pretending remorse. "I made mistakes," she whispered. I placed a small drive on the table. "Everything you did, every transfer, every message." Her breath caught. You hacked me?" "No," I said. "You taught me." She reached for the drive. I pulled it back. "It's already with the Bureau, with your bank, with the twins' guardians." Her eyes filled, but I didn't believe the tears. They were tactical. "You can't do this," she said. I already did. Silence settled, thick. For the first time, she understood the math of betrayal. Every secret has an invoice, and I was the collector. Before I left, I slid a photograph across the table. The twins, smiling, safe, far away. I told them the truth, I said. They know who you are. They don't hate you anymore. She broke. Her sobs were real this time, messy and animal. I stood, watching the woman who once studied my heartbeat, now gasping for her own. There's no satisfaction in revenge, only precision. As I reached the door, she whispered, "Do you still love me?" I paused, turned slightly. "Love isn't what you killed, Laura." And I walked out. The night outside was clean and cold. I sat in the car, hands steady, pulse calm. 16 years of service, one lifetime of lies. The Bureau called me a survivor. The media called me a hero. But I wasn't either. I was just awake. Betrayal doesn't end with punishment. It ends with clarity. As the prison gates disappeared in the rearview mirror, I realized something simple. She wanted freedom. I gave it to her, just not the kind she imagined. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel anything at all.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.